Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Joining me today, the three good generals. General Dushyant Singh couldn't make it today, but we have General Rajiv Narayanan and General Ravi Shankar. Let's welcome the good generals. Namaskar, sir. How are you?
Namaskar, and thanks a lot.
Thanks.
We are very
good to
nice.
be back on your show.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. So, General Ravi Shankar is going to start off, and he has a slide deck to present, and then we'll bring in General Rajiv Narayanan for his views. Over to you, General Ravi Shankar.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm not giving a slide deck of great intellectual value, but this is a throwback on,
Yes.
and to put the Pakistan-US relations in perspective, because one has to look back into history and put it in real focus to understand what's going. Those who ignore history are bound to suffer it. And I think USA is on track to suffer that. Yeah, can I have the slides, please, Sachin? Yeah, this is the article which has come yesterday, today, one of these days. Pakistan is in Trump's good graces, but for how long? New York Times. And I've picked up all New York Times articles because the analysis is pretty good. Good, bad. I mean, you might like it or not, but the analysis is good. He says President Trump hosted the South Asian nation's army chief and seeks deals on critical minerals and crypto. We all know that. But Pakistan is also tightening its military partnership with China. So there's a triangle very clearly being implicated. So Pak, US, China triangle. Something similar to the Pak, US, Afghanistan triangle. All these issues are there. We can discuss on all these. Nobel Prize, China, Iran war. All this happened. That's how the flip took place. The flip has taken place. Let's not have any doubt. Minerals, crypto, oil reserves, non-existent. India's rise, I think, is the last two are pretty important. And I'm sure Rajiv will focus on it. And I will get back. India's rise. How is this new power, which is if it changes the shape of Pakistan? And if tomorrow, Pakistan goes duff and something happens and Pakistan breaks up and China comes, there's going to be chaos. And if that chaos was to take place, Iran won't go to, plan. And we refuse to toe their line by saying you didn't, draw down the war. So all this, and then the American dream of holding, influence. Even now, I mean, the result is, look at it strategically for the Americans. From Syria, that is the Mediterranean, to the border, India's border, it has control. And China is marginalized in this. Okay? And you refuse to give them credit, or rather you were changing Pakistan's status, not acceptable to USA. Then, look, the moment they've set foot in Pakistan, whether you set foot, control, whatever it is, access to Iran, China, India, AFPAC, Gulf, the entire region you control from Pakistan. So why won't USA fall in love with Pakistan? And this is the important thing is, till 9th, Vance said, we know there's a war going on. Let it go on. We are watching from the sidelines. 10th morning, they do a flip. Why? Obviously, their interests have been hit very badly on that night, on the morning. We have spoken of it. So, and then that master plan, control everything, redraw this entire region and all that. Go back in time. This is the article, New York Times article of 2021. The real winner of the Afghan war. It's not who you think it is. It's Pakistan. Right? So, who's the real winner of this war? Is it America, India, or Pakistan, or China? The decision is up for grabs. We'll look at it for a long time. But America will be well, cautioned to read what the author wrote in this article. Pakistan was ostensibly America's partner in the war against Al-Qaeda and Taliban. Its military won tens of billions of dollars in American aid over the last 2 decades. Even as Washington acknowledged that much of money disappeared into unaccounted sinkholes. But it was a relationship driven by duplicity and divided interests from the very start after 9/11. Not the least, the Afghan Taliban the Americans were fighting are in part a creation of Pakistan's ISI, which through the course of the war nurtured and protected Taliban assets inside Pakistan. This just tells you what's going to happen in the future, one way or the other. Right? The settings might change, the protagonists might change, but the fundamental theme Americans must understand. America must understand where Trump is leading them into. All the best to them. Right? This is it. America's Afghan war, a defeat foretold. I can change this. There's a defeat foretold for America in this. If you think America is going to get away with this, sorry, it will not. It won't. In fact, it will be even worse. In this, Pakistan-US relations, an enemy is better than a backstabbing friend. This analysis, interestingly quotes Donald Trump. He says the United States has given Pakistan more than 33 billion completely in vain over the past 15 years. They did not give us anything but lies and deceit. They provided a safe haven for the terrorists we hunt in Afghanistan and almost do not help us. These words, where have they gone? Or is Trump the new Afghan? Or, is Trump the new Taliban in this area? So, we can take the slides off, please. So, the whole story is, the question is, what made US suddenly fall in love with Pakistan? Is it a sudden love or is it a plan which India upset? Because everything you see, I look back, I've done a whole lot of shows, we've done a whole lot of shows. Everything what changed was on 10th morning.
Noor Khan base.
Whatever. No, it's not Noor Khan base alone. We've spoken Noor Khan base, Sargoda, Kirana, Chagai, Jacobabad, whole lot of things. Right. And the whole game changed on 10th night, which many people are not able to digest. Everyone is focusing on 6 Rafales down and all that nonsense. I think we need to understand this game a little deeper. And we also have to have strategic patience to handle this game differently. If you don't have this thing and you start jumping around, we start jumping around to say, oh, that chap is saying this, that this guy is doing that, we'll be out of the equation. And then, of course, this funny connect with, Ukraine coming up, Russia, Ukraine, all that nonsense. Then, of course, there's the internal connect of Epstein files. So all these are there. This is this thing, and it's going to be messy. What we need to be prepared is be prepared for the mess. We need to be prepared for the mess. Don't start saying, I want to make good with USA. Forget it. I think those days of making good with the USA are over. That strategic partnership, the way I look at it, is dead. Because strategic partnership without trust is no partnership. We might have dealings with Pakistan, with USA. We might be doing exercises with them. That's a different story altogether. We might still go through with a trade deal. That's a different story altogether. But I think the India-US equation, which was built over the past 25 years, has collapsed. And it's not going to be easy to get it back. If we get it back, we will lose. If you try to go back to, being on Trump's right side, India will be the loser. That's my view. All yours.
Thank you so much, General Ravi Shankar. And now over to you, General Rajiv.
I'll take it forward from where he says, because we find it so funny that USA is doing things that you don't understand. He very rightly pointed out, the last slide showed what he spoke about Pakistan then and what he's speaking about Pakistan today. What changed? So my question is it actually US and Pak or Trump and Pak?
Yeah.
Or Trump and Pak. There's a lot of difference between these two. And is he leading USA up a garden path? Is my question. Because a short background, we have already seen what he has done. Now let us look at what he is claiming, which is of course spurious. He claims they have good diplomatic relations with, I won't say he claims, his spokespeople claim and bring it out that he has good diplomatic relations with Iran. Pakistan has influence in the region and the Muslim world, has oil reserves and minerals, and last but not the least, cryptocurrency. So, what is actually the reality? Pakistan's threat just doesn't run in Balochistan. Units are surrendering their weapons and coming back and telling the Pak army you can court-martial the whole unit. I look at it slightly differently how the US is hurting Pakistan. US pays, the State Department weekly pays a whole lot of money to the Taliban. They pay the TTP and the BLA. And it's the same good cop, bad cop version you see here. The Americans are doing the same thing what Pakistan did with them for 20 years, running with the hare and hunting with the hounds.
From 2001 to 21.
And I look at him, look at the proscribing the BLA by the US in the same light. Makes no difference. You proscribe it means you may have given Pak a death kiss. You proscribed Taliban after 21 years, Taliban is in power. You proscribed HTS after how much? 12 years. 2013 onwards, you proscribed them in Syria. Well, when he come 2025, you recognize him as the ruler, made him suit, put him on a suit and boot Jolani, and he's there. So what happens? Pak army has limited influence in Iran, post stating that they facilitated the strikes by the Americans on Iran, and number two, giving the highest civilian honor, Nishan-e-Imtiyaz, to the now ex-chief of the CENTCOM, Kurila. On his retirement, you pinned that Nishan, and to expect that you will have good relations with Iran, I don't think so. Their influence, even in the Muslim world, is very minimal. It's only influence they have within the Muslim world is the dark world of terrorism that they have, being the font of terrorism. Oil and mineral reserves. They've been selling this for decades. If they had just opened the files, they would have known his minions. Trump doesn't have that much of IQ and he would not be looking at these things. ExxonMobil was digging there from 2011 till they finally folded shop, I think in 2018 or 19, and moved out. Each of the oil wells they dug, some of them were down to 5,000 meters. Got nothing.
Wow.
And now this is the same slot he is giving, selling it to Trump. As far as the minerals is concerned, they tried it with the Americans. They tried it with the Chinese. They've given it the same set of mines. They've given it to the Canadians, and now they're giving it to him. Good luck to him, what he can get from there. The most important for him, which I'll touch upon a little later, now next is the cryptocurrency, because this is where his family comes. Not US. It's his family which comes in. And I feel personally he wants to secure his family's future, because after this there is nothing, and he would do anything to get it. And it is the tariff war which is a smoke screen. Everybody is looking at the tariff war. Nobody is questioning the crypto deals that he has done. What is it? Why is he afraid of India? Because India is the only one who's being very mature and quiet and looking at things pragmatically and not getting carried away and shouting through the roof like he's doing. Like every day he's throwing a tantrum. And now he's worried that people might look at this. So let us look at it as cryptocurrency deal a little bit. There's nothing to do with US. It is a deal, World Liberty Financial, created in September 24, 2 months before he came to power. And Pakistan Crypto Council. US doesn't come into it because the World Liberty Council Financial 60% of the stakes are held by Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr., and Jared Kushner. And the deal with the private Pakistan Crypto Council is whatever sales of cryptocurrencies take place, 75% of the money will be given to these three. 75-25 is the profit sharing. Okay. And if I remember correctly, what I read, cryptocurrency is illegal in Pakistan. So I wonder where this Pakistan cryptocurrency will function from. Next, he is tried to link his own coin. He's calling it a stable coin, and he's trying to link the US dollar to the stable coin. That's his stable coin. Now here comes the dirty part. He has roped in Justin Singh, the creator of Tron, who was caught for embezzlement. He's jumped. He ran away to Grenada. He became a diplomat in Grenada. He gave them a lot of money, bought citizenship. He was not only a diplomat of Grenada, he headed the Grenada's team in WTO till last year when the elections, the previous government went off. Now, surprise, surprise, where does he go to? In a vague small country called Liberland. Today he's a citizen of Liberland. Where is Liberland? Not many of the people would have heard about it. I didn't till when I was digging. It's a small piece of land off the river Danube, which divides Serbia and Croatia, and neither country has laid claim on that land. And there is this man who has come and created this country. And what do they deal in? Cryptocurrency. And this man has now, because he can't go back to Grenada, he can't come to USA, he is now a citizen of Liberland. There's just a village of about 2,000 people out there. Sir. Now, who is the next? And Trump has linked, he's the one who started the Tron cryptocurrency, and they've linked both together, his cryptocurrency with this. Now, the next person whom they have roped in is a person by the name of Changpeng Zhao, CZ. He is the founder and CEO of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance. He was arrested for money laundering. He's done this chap's case. Justin Singh, the Security and Exchange Commission had charged him. His trial had started in March and February 2025. March 23 it started. February 25, Trump has dropped all charges. And in May 2025, in October 24, he invested 75 billion in that World Liberty Financial, whose account was zero till then. And they created in May 2025 a meme cryptocurrency, dollar Trump meme cryptocurrency. He's invested, bought $40 million, and he's given that company that. This is Justin Singh. This chap, he's done a deal with the CZ, whom they call Changpeng Zhao. He's done a deal with the Department of Justice. FBI is quiet. The Justice Department is quiet. What deal has been done? And he comes out from the shadows, and he's made the strategic advisor of the Pakistan Crypto Council. Now, everyone talks of the cryptocurrency, but nobody talks of these issues. It's a personal, it has nothing to do with US and Pakistan. It is Trump's family and Pakistan. And is this a new fund they are creating? If you bring in Pakistan, then the question always comes that is this the new way of funding terrorism? Because today it is difficult to trace a blockchain. Digital you can trace, blockchain becomes difficult to trace at present. Are they doing that? Then just imagine what his Treasury Secretary says. He's supposed to be an economist from Yale and God knows what all they traced out when he was bringing them in. Live on Fox News, he says the European allies must listen that their sovereign wealth fund belongs to the US. And the POTUS will decide how it will be invested. in US to rebuild America great again. Means you're going to loot their wealth. He says this is the price you're going to pay for the security cover we gave you in NATO. Hello. I think the Europeans now need to smell the salt, which direction it is going. And this is all that they are doing it. They know he knows he can't do it. Because any deal, whatever trade deal he may sign, unless it is ratified by all the countries concerned, their parliaments, the deal is dead.
Dead. Non-starter.
It's a non-starter. But yet he's making this statement. I feel it is to ruffle the waters more, muddy the waters more, so that nobody looks at what the crypto deal is going on. How much is going on? What is going on? Nobody is talking. Because, hey, what crypto will Pakistan give? They have no infrastructure, nor do they have the money to build the infrastructure to be able to mine, create the all your servers and provide the basis to start mining. Yes, you may have some hackers. Where is the skilled labor to be able to do and start creating all this? There is nothing. Then who is working on it? Who are the people who are going to work on it, and where? Where are they going to be based? And the US Congress has not yet realized it. How many has he bought off? That you can also be part of it. Because these people own 60%. What is left in thin air? Even today, when I tried to search for it over the last 48 hours, who holds the balance 40%? When you create World Liberty Financial, 60% is owned by X, 40% is owned by whom? Not known. So, what will happen once his term is over? Will he stay there? There are so many cases of his pending. Will he run away like Justin Sue? Will his family shift to Timberland? Grenada or Timberland? I'm saying Timberland because Slovenia is just a country away to the west. His wife comes from Slovenia.
Yes.
So Ljubljana is not too far away. I was just checking from the map. It's just about a 4 hours drive. 4 to 5 hours drive from there. So now what I am worried about is that the US Congress has to start smelling the coffee now, because the damage that this man and his team are going to do to the relations, not just with India, with the whole. Just imagine the statement that Besant makes openly on Fox News. I'm sure the Europeans have also seen it. What will be their reaction to this messaging from his Treasury Secretary, and no noise coming from whether the Republicans or the Democrat or anybody in the Congress? The damage that he's going to do to his US's relationship everywhere is going to be really bad, and leads me to what both Lee Hsien Loong and the present finance minister of Singapore said. The world can live without US. Can the US then live without the world? Because he's damaging relations which matters. I'm least interested what he does with China. His relationship, the transatlantic relationship, are going to be really damaged beyond control if he continues on this path. And Besant making a statement that if the Putin-Trump deal doesn't go, I will go secondary sanctions and tariffs on India. What has India got to do with Ukraine war? We have nothing to do with Ukraine war. We have nothing to do with these are the kind of statements and actions which are going to disrupt the relationship. And like General Shankar had also said, it doesn't heal ever. In geopolitics, you can say, like, In English, they say it is like a glass. Once you break it, you can do nothing. You got to smelt it back again and remake the glass. In Hindi, you say it's like a matka. Once it's broken, thank you. You got to turn it back to clay and make it again. So it's going to take years and years and years. India is still 25 years. Imagine the depth of transatlantic relations, which these people are damaging. That is the issue. I feel it is more, my feeling it is more Trump with Pakistan than US with Pakistan, because a lot of his first term people also and the others are also like Marco Rubin, Bolton, are very angry with what how he's developing relations with Pakistan, who they say is Rubin to openly has said that Asim Munir is Obama in a suit. So where is he leading US? I'll stop.
Sir, I think you meant Osama in a suit.
Correct. No. Yes. Sorry. My mistake. Sorry, Mr. Obama. It is Osama in a suit. Osama bin Laden in a suit.
Thank you so much, General Rajiv. One interesting add to what you said, it's a Japanese company that's going to be giving the blockchain technology to this Pakistani, this venture. So it's getting very interesting. How many people are getting roped into this?
My issue is always this, how are they going to give it when legally, as an act of the parliament, dealing in cryptocurrency in Pakistan has been declared illegal? That act has not yet been changed. So whom are the Japanese going to give this technology? And that is my next question. Where is it going to function from? Liberland?
Thank you, General Rajiv. General Shankar, would you like to add to what General Rajiv said? Because he looked at it from a different angle. So over to you, sir.
No, let me put it. These are complementary. What he has spoken, it is complementary. You look at the whole thing. I did invoke the cryptocurrency issue. This is where the another issue in Pakistan. For crypto, you need a lot of power. Okay, you need a lot of power. Where is this power going to come from? You have to analyze this. This is going to come from the power plants made by the Chinese. This is in Pakistan, something very funny has happened. The Chinese have dumped full, solar systems in mass in Pakistan. And Pakistan has taken it to duck like water. Because, and as a result, the requirement of a lot of Pakistanis has been met by the solar panels. The resultant is all these power plants of the BRI are lying idle or near idle or are going at loss, all that. So now that Pakistan is offering to USA, you can use, because you have to run GPRUs, all that. For crypto, you need a whole lot of. So this is going to go
computing
there.
Power. Yeah.
Computing power. So now that means that the Chinese are going to fund this. So how will this get squared off? I don't know. After all the individual power producers in Pakistan are all Chinese. They're not handed over those assets to Pakistanis. Okay, so where will the legal aspect as to where Japan is going to come and set up anything without any legality? And mind you, Japan is a bit of a stickler for rules. They're not going to be so easy. So I don't know. This power, what is the agreement and deal between China and USA and Trump? I don't know. It's all up in the air. Okay, now the next thing is, if you run all these power plants at max capacity, you need water, which Pakistan doesn't have. See, there is one thing to other. The price which Pakistan is going to pay, that is why I went back. Who's going to pay this entire bill? The thing which, Asim Munir will get his cut out of this. He'll buy an island somewhere near, Australia, like his predecessors have done, or he'll go to Dubai and settle and live his life out. And that's the destination. He knows his destination. He's already made money. That's okay. But what happens to Pakistan? Right. Now you've done this. Then what happens to the complete American, influence structure, which has been built over, from the Bretton Woods times? It's all collapsed. It's all collapsed. Let's be very clear. Today morning, I did a show where I said, just to put it in context, 2 days back, I was having dinner with one of my unit officers. His daughter said, "Uncle, you keep doing a lot of things about, China and Pakistan and USA and all. Why don't you do one thing about Japan?" So I did this thing about Japan today morning. On my way back, I read up on Japan, did it, and something very funny came out. Japan is also not happy with Trump. Japan is also not happy with China. Same case, we are mirrored. Except that Japan has a deal which can't function. Japan has got a deal, but that deal can't function with Trump. 70% of Japanese don't like America today. This is a Nippon.com. If you see today morning's episode, those of you from Gunnershot who heard me, I've shown the figures. 70% of the Japanese feel we should be on our own and we should, our defense is ours, we should look after it. So, hello, this whole story is going to unravel in the Asia Pacific area. If Asia Pacific, I'm talking of Asia Pacific, not Indo Pacific. Indo Pacific is dead as far as I'm concerned. If Asia Pacific is gone and you're looking at a G2, is that what Trump is taking USA into for his personal gains? If that be the case, where does it leave India? This entire conduit, you see this ding dong of Asim Munir going from, going to America for lunch, coming back, going to China, coming back, Kurila coming, giving him a medal, the Central Asian defense chiefs coming here, all that. Then now this fellow is back there. He now takes pictures with the Joint Chief of Staff and he's publishing it all over. And sitting there, he's threatening us, and America is quiet about the whole story. Trump and his team are reveling in the fact that they are trying to denigrate India through Pakistan and directly also. This is where we are. And there are idiots. I'm now very blunt about it. There are idiots sitting in America who give out tweets, right, to say, "Oh, Trump is upset. Please, placate him by investing $500 billion there." Arey yaar, uska US economy is 30 trillion or wherever it is. We are 4 trillion. And he wants a 500 billion investment there when he's got a good deal going already. So we should be clear where we are. Are we going by going back or seeking accommodation back with USA? Are we seeking accommodation with Trump or USA? We have to be now, as a country, very clear. Do you want to talk to Trump or to USA? If you want to talk to Trump, there's a different story because that's the government. After all, he's conflated the government with his personal issues. That government is a personal fiefdom. But one day something might happen in America where he is impeached or thrown out. Some Epstein files comes out, he might be on his way out. On that I'm very sure. And that America has its own conscience. But we need to keep our things going with USA, the people of USA. Because at the end of the day, India and USA, 25 years we built a relationship based on many things which we can't lose for each other. I mean, in the sense you lost trust. At least let's have a business relationship. Okay. Now, this is this part of the story. How does India deal with the situation now? How do you deal with Pakistan now? How do you deal with US interests in Pakistan? How do you deal with Chinese interests in Pakistan? How do you deal with what our prime minister is going to do in China? How do you deal with what will be the fallout of tomorrow night between Putin and Trump? How are you going to go and handle Japan? After all, our prime minister is going immediately after the SEO meet to Japan, right? I mean, look, let me tell you, at this point of time, this is a huge roulette which is going on. You don't know where this ball is going to stop, where it's going to spin. At least we need to be prepared for almost the worst case scenarios. Of course, this nuclear saber rattling, Indus Water Treaty, all this nonsense. He's announced some rocket force. That's all bunk. They don't have the capability to do anything. They also know it, we also know it, but he has to say all that because only then his thing will go up and he can divert attention away and give, brownie points to Trump to talk next in his tweet. So the situation is pretty volatile. Take any direction. Take this analysis from any direction. The situation we are facing with USA is quite unprecedented. And why is it unprecedented? We have to understand this. Earlier, when we were under sanctions of USA, we were very clear we didn't need USA. चलो भाई, Coca-Cola नहीं पियेंगे, thumbs up के साथ खुश रह जाएंगे हम. We'll be happy with thumbs up or Campa Cola or some local colas. Already keep Coca-Cola out. Keep this entire US business out. Okay, you knew in 71 that when we were dismembering Pakistan, that USA will come. They came. We knew they were our enemy. Very simple. Fundamentally, they were our enemy. End of story. You knew how to deal with them. Today, what is USA to us? This fundamental relationship between India and USA has changed. Are they our enemy? Are they our adversary? Are they our ally or their partners or what? What are they? We know our relationship with China. Very clear. They're our adversary, long-term adversary. George Fernandez said he's our number one enemy. We know Pakistan. We can live with Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Myanmar. All these are episodic. Oh, kabhi haan, kabhi na. But that's okay. We're used to it. We know Afghanistan. We know all this. Even Iran is okay. But what do you do with USA? The problem that USA has flipped to suit itself is a given. But the thing is, you can't ignore USA. You can't ignore USA in our economy. You can't ignore USA in our defense. You can't ignore because you built those bridges. You can't just break them off. So I think we have to start looking at this a bit pragmatically. We should be prepared for a two-toned relationship with USA. An official relationship and an unofficial relationship. Today only I saw MEA saying, our diplomacy will go on, our defense cooperation will go on, all that. These are all nice talk. But what is the content of the defense cooperation? It's a question mark. The next thing which we have to really see is this entire military play in Pakistan, in USA, Pakistan and all is being carried out by US Central Command. Okay, what is the role of US PACOM? Is there some other noise going to come out from there? What will be the dissonance in this noise is something we'll have to see. Today again, it has come out that 2+2 dialogue will go on. 2+2 with whom? With Peter Hegseth and Marco Rubio, who have just kept quiet. They have not spoken one word in this past 10 days. And Marco Rubio was someone who was saying US that India is our natural ally. We need to convert this partnership into alliance. He was the most vocal of the lot. What happened? So this, the problem which Trump has created for USA, India, and the rest of the thing is pretty huge. It is unprecedented. It is as if one Gunda is trying to hold the entire universe at ransom in some manner. But let's not get into that. We need to be clear as to how we have to handle this entire situation, right? And I think the contours of this situation are still evolving, and they're evolving by the day. So let's see how it goes.
Thank you so much, sir. General Rajiv, according to you, what happened on the 10th that made US change its stance 180 degrees?
I think there were quite a lot of their assets which got destroyed. Tom Cooper from Austria is just written out and said that
Yeah.
what the army chief has said is barely 1/3 of the losses what the Pakistan army faced. And the destruction has been quite huge, and quite a lot of it was there. They may not be that much worried about their F-16s getting knocked out as much as their latest radars and communication systems, and especially the Noor Khan base. Costed them $500 million to make that nuclear underground command post for Pakistan. How many of their people were still there who got killed? And that, I think, came to them as a very, very, very big shock. And it is just those 25 minutes. 5 minutes past 1 to 1:30 in the night of 9th, 10th. That 25 minutes destroyed any semblance of what the Americans thought that the way this war is going. Till then, they were okay, you fired, they fired drones, he fired drones, you fired, this fired, going on. But the extensive damage that happened thereafter, and while it is 25 minutes for the Air Force, it was about 3 hours on the land of the army, where our RT and the infantry handled weapons, the tanks, the ICVs, even along the international border, they supported the BSF. Most of his bunkers, his command posts, his ammunition dumps have been destroyed. That is why he had to go to USA to make that statement sitting on the lap of Trump. Because here people would have asked him that you're saying threatening India, you're going to threaten it with what? The Chinese have not given them any weapons as yet. I think one odd radar the Americans have given them. That's about all. So as far as I go with General Shankar that you got to be very pragmatic about it. And I think this government is going, that's why, a very pragmatic way and a quiet way. And in one of my shows, I had said, at the present moment, when you look at the psychological manner in which you're dealing, a transactional analysis, Trump, Besant, and one or two people are throwing tantrums like a child. Your PM is dealing it maturely like a parent. He's quietly doing what he has to do. And the elder siblings are his team, who are dealing with some people in the US also who realize that there is a problem. And they're dealing with it like an adult, explaining to the child that what is it. Like if you look at that whom to speak to, why did he say that the relations are going on? The GE is still in deep, they are still giving the engines for the Tejas, and they are working with our for the JV to establish the plant for 414 in India. That is still going full steam, despite all his tantrums. So US itself, I would say their industry and the others are working on a two-pronged approach. The government itself is already in talks with multiple countries in Africa, in Latin America, West Asia, ASEAN, even Far East. Like the deals with Japan, wanting to finish the deals with Japan, because as far as the garment is concerned, your impact was about, I think, 12 or 15 billion US dollars. Japan imports 23 billion worth of garments, out of which Indian share is only 1% at 23 million. The PM has said, I'm ready to buy everything, you give it to me. UAE is looking at it in a different manner. because they have, and UK also is looking at it in a different manner. It is the East India Company in reverse, where our items will go there and from there they'll sell it to the US. Same thing, UAE is also looking at, you give me things and you're going there. So all these talks are going on, and you are in talks with about 50 countries. I think the UK deal is being progressed faster through the parliament so that it is implemented. You already have the EFTA deal approved, which will start from 1st of October. So basically, you are looking at it, let him try to burn his relationship. Your relationship with EU is also going on, with the European countries is also going on. So that let Trump finish his tenure and push off, and then we can brush up, get up from the floor and start again. But till then, you have to look after your interests. And I'm sure Trump would be very wild with China. And that is one of the reasons why Besant may have made this statement to us, because he's worried if he throws a tantrum at China, he'll block all his rare earth. China has removed all ban on export of urea to India. 3 lakh tons. You're getting it? He's cleared it. The take. This is in lieu of the fertilizer and other sanctions that he has brought on India. Then there was a, I think, blue something plastic anti-dumping he had done on us, on Japan and South Korea. He's cleared only for us. And those, he's ready to import that. So quietly, China is also getting worried and is opening up. He knows the relationship between India and China is only going to be transactional. It's not going to be friendly. So you're going to do that. You don't want to do the same thing with USA. At the moment, on the face of it, with Trump, it is likely to be transactional, but you don't want to burn the bridges. You don't want to burn the bridges away from them. And you got to be careful, because after all, we cannot forget what Kissinger said also. It is dangerous to be enemies with the US, but to be friends is fatal. So it will be closer, but it will still be transactional. And the companies, like if you look at that brief blimp which Microsoft had, they have, all these tech companies have realized, even AI based, that the kind of depth that India is providing is enormous. At the moment, penetration of AI of these companies in India is number 2 to USA, and by 2030 they claim that it will be number 1 in the world, use of AI. On Trump's say so, can he destroy his market? One phone call to Pichai and Nadella from the Silicon Valley of India, within 12 hours, they were on their knees in front of Nayara and giving them the complete service, because they said, we shut shop with you. One call from the Silicon Valley. The bosses got together and gave a call and said, you do this here, you lose the trust, we'll shut shop and we'll do our own. So the US companies realized today that the kind of market that India provides, China has never provided. China was only exporting. So whatever profits were essentially based on exports. India, what bulk of your profits will be on internal consumption. So this market, the companies cannot avoid. They have to. Now he's trying to sell you dead ducks like Stryker and your F-35. It's a no-go. Nobody's going to buy it. Javelin, why will I buy when I have a better performing missile which has already been made and fielded by the DRDO, and even the what the Russians and the French have given performs better than Javelin. What the Israeli Spike have given performs better than the Javelin. Why will I go back to an antiquated weapon system? Stryker is so underpowered for my terrain. It's powered for the rolling plains of Europe. It's not powered for the kind of terrain that we have. It was dead on arrival. just to humor them, you did the trials to them. So they have to be very clear what is the kind of defense deals you want. Putin is coming. There will be some talk or some sharing or something which will take place. I'm sure Su-57 and your S-500 will be on the table. There is talk of getting more Rafales on the table. So when you look at defense and when you look at the commercial part, the trade part, these are being done directly with the companies. When you look at the part, that is also being directly being done with the companies, because you can't go through Trump. Those people will realize that yes, it can be done. No, they have to find ways and means how to get it out. See, Bank of America, April 2025, when the first time he threw the tantrum of tariff, they have taken out a report which they claim if he goes down the tariff way in the coming 5 years, America is going to lose $41 trillion. Then there was one more, I'm forgetting which one, I think Moody's or which one, they had done a report. When he initially spoke about tariff, there was a big fluctuation in the stock market of the US. Quite a lot of money was lost over a period of 2-3 days, and then it stabilized. At the moment, he says people are waiting for taco. If taco doesn't happen in the next 1 year, the US stock markets are going to lose $6 trillion. Now, this is what the US experts are saying. That if Trump doesn't understand what harm, because you see, US is a consuming country. When you put tariff on something you are importing, you're hurting your people. You're hurting the purchasing power of your people. MAGA, for the factory to come, to be made, to be successful, takes time. Our Marwadis work on a concept, and which is a very effective, I would say, a concept. They talk of a concept of 1,000 days. Their management technique is 1,000 days. Means roughly works out to about 3 years. That when you set shop, for you to cut even, it takes 1,000 days. You're not going to make profits for 1,000 days. It is after that slowly your reputation builds, and then you start making money. So stick on, rough it out for 1,000 days. Does US have that 1,000 days? That's my question. I leave it here.
Thank you so much, sir. And now the talk that is coming down the grapevine is that there are going to be 2 substantial interest rate cuts before the end of this year. And there is a saying in US, when the interest rates are being maintained high, and the moment they are brought down, the stock market falls, and it falls in a big way, because that is the indication that finally the government accepts that there is a problem in the economy. So we'll wait and see. The highest amount ever in money market accounts is today, which means many people have lost faith in the stock market, and they've cashed out from the stock market, and they're keeping their money in money markets where you're getting about 4.2%. So this is what people are doing. So we'll wait and see how this plays out. Gentlemen, I have some time for questions now. We'll take some questions now.
Sure.
Yeah, let's start with General Ravi Shankar. Bobji wants to know, I'm from a family where 4 uncles served in the military. Unfortunately, none of the children or grandchildren went to the military. What could be the reason?
That's your family question. I really can't answer that. Yeah.
Next question, please. Vasu Ainga, this is for you, General Rajiv. Is there a global deep state plot to create a G2 with USA and China? India's rise would throw a spanner in the works. Does this explain Trump's change in stance?
China is in the doghouse as far as the deep state is concerned, because China wants to control the globe. If China wants to control the globe, then he's directly in competition with the deep state. To say deep state wanting US, China, thank you. I will rest my case there.
Next one, please. General Shankar, this is for you, sir. Bhagyashree Garu wants to know, sir, my kids who are citizens of USA are discriminated everywhere in US. In India, they are discriminated as they are US citizens. What should I do? This suffering is becoming slowly unbearable.
you'll have to come to terms. This is a societal issue which really I don't have answers, and maybe some of us will face this issue, right? And maybe you'll have to search for a third country. Maybe you'll have to look at Middle East. Maybe you'll have to look at East Asia, Malaysia, Singapore. I mean, that's something personal.
Next one, please. This is for you, General Rajiv Narayanan. Ashish Hegde wants to know, sir, should we wait for the Trump-Putin meeting outcome? Isn't Trump hoping that by taxing India, he can get leverage with Putin?
Hegde, sir, he is not taxing India. He is taxing his people.
Yeah.
It is the imports from India that he is putting tariff on. There is no tariff on any whatever we are importing from USA. So be very clear on that. And when he does that tariff, it is the people of USA who pay. Yes, I will for some time, my exporters who are there will take a hit for which the government is already working. And they have set aside 20,000 crores, out of which they have already dished out about 2,500 odd crores to hold the hand. Especially there are two segments. Main number one is the garment and the diamond, not even the jewels. It's the diamond. But the diamond industry, please remember, US cannot do without the Indian diamonds. The polished, cut and finished diamonds, India controls 90% of the global trade. Has Trump thought about that? I don't think so. And this is the wedding season. And there also in US now comes Christmas and everything, gifting of diamonds, and it will go through the roof. Who will make the money today? Let's be clear. The diamonds are somehow going to reach USA. Who will make the money? The middlemen.
Correct.
Then you've got to look at it. Are you going back to the 30s? Will they be bootlegging for diamonds? Diamonds for India? See, remember, diamonds are forever. So that also in Surat and all, they're holding hands. UAE has said, give me, there is some DMCC. They have got some center in Dubai where you place it there. And then from there, they will say, UK is telling, come there. And I've just tweeted there that the East India Company in UK can start doing it. Yes, the East India Company of those yesteryears is still there in that same house, same building, and it is now owned by an Indian one, Mr. Agarwal, if I have my facts correct. Okay, he's a Marwadi, so he will also know what to do. And he's a British citizen who runs that. So it's a very funny thing which is going to happen. Garments, like I said, Japan has opened its arms and said, whatever garments you want to give, you give it. This Putin-Trump outcome. Putin has already said that if Trump dares to put tariffs on your pharma, give me all your pharma. Do you realize what will happen to the health service in USA? 50% of the health service in USA depends on Indian pharma.
Sir, I think it's 90%.
Look,
because the moment
you have it from the
paracetamol. Sir, if you just take paracetamol, sorry to cut you off, sir. If you take paracetamol, if the moment a generic drug enters the market, the entire thing goes to that. So what I think one of the companies, Pfizer, has done is they did a deal with Indian companies so that they can actually manage the generic product supply also inside the US. So they get a small cut there too.
See,
over to you, sir. Sorry.
The generic supply, how is it done? You never make generic medicine for which the patent is still valid. The patent has a validity, say, for 5 years or 10 years. The moment the validity is over, that is when you start making the generic drugs. That is the legality of generic drugs, so nobody can point a finger at you of intellectual property rights. Right? And the generic drugs, and most of your life-saving drugs today are your generic drugs which are going from India. So it's a bitter-sweet pill which the people of US, I won't go to the extent of what Richard Hoff claims. He is a professor, I think, in Harvard. And he is claiming that by this Christmas, US will be in recession. I don't think it will be that. But Bank of America has said, whatever you have achieved this year, the growth in GDP, that's it. Next year onwards, if this rigmarole of tariff is not destroyed, US is going to see 0% growth. This is the Bank of America report, which I'm quoting, of April 2025. 0%. Now, that's very dangerous situation for US. Yes, we will take a hit, but just imagine, out of close to 830 billion of my export, my total exports to US is 86 billion, out of which only about between 40 to 50 billion is only under tariff. So even if I take 50, where is 50? Where is 830? That is the difference. And so that is why you're talking to so many countries so that you can slowly diversify. If the markets are not big, I can sell it to 50 different countries and still get my money back. But those 50 different countries will be selling it at a profit, the same thing to US. Who pays for it? And that is where Bassett was not able to answer the Congress. The trade rep was not able to answer the Congress when he was asked, sir, who pays for the tariffs ultimately? He couldn't answer. How can he answer and say that it is the American public who's going to take?
Well. Thank you so much, Saurabh. Today, S&P has upgraded India rating to BBB negative to BBB. That means they have taken it up. Means from stable to positive, which in turn means cheaper borrowing and good investment funds and land. Thank you so much for the info, sir.
Yes, sir. There is another rating in which they have lifted you up to A minus.
Oh, wow. Very good. Next question, please. Thank you, Krishnan, for your super sticker. Thank you, Dinesh. This is for General Shankar. Sir, if China has been overwriting GDP, then how is it still making larger spending, national budget and operations? And sir, is India underwriting its GDP?
Dinesh, I don't think they're making larger spending, national budget and operations. They're hemorrhaging. They are in debt, yeah? वो क्या करता है? He makes bonds. He sells bonds. How is China mobilizing money? By selling bonds. Why is China selling bonds? Because they don't have money. Whom are they selling it to? Their own people. They are playing on the Chinese people. The Chinese people by nature are big savers. So the Chinese are not spending because they have what they have. And they've kept their money in banks. The money in banks, they'll not buy bonds. But the Chinese government is forcing the banks to buy bonds, government bonds. So that is why this whole story, that is why China is like a hollow brick. It can collapse anytime. It will not collapse because of the CCP structure, but you never know. Now, India is underwriting GDP? I don't think so. It cuts both ways. There are reports which say we are overestimating. There are reports which say underestimating. But overall, I think we are in a balance, plus minus, say 1 or 2%. I mean, 1 or 2% of the reported figures, not the GDP. Okay, the GDP is stable. Maybe instead of saying it is 6.5, it could be 6.4, it could be 6.3, or 6.6 or 6.7. But you are in that range.
Thank you, sir. Next question, please. Naughty Boop, thank you so much. Back in love with Pakistan. America ka pyar to maa ka pyar hota hai na. Father's full name is Akhand Bharat. Next question to General Rajiv.
People who love Akhand Bharat, I have only one thing to say. जो पहले अपने पास है पहले उसको तो संभाल लो. Akhand Bharat.
Right. Very true. Apramaya wants to know, General Rajiv, when will Trump be officially exposed about this cryptocurrency money laundering scheme with Pakistan?
That is what I'm asking. I'm sure the people in the Congress and others are getting quite worried about it. They are worried about what he is doing, damaging relations left, right, and center. Switzerland finance minister has openly told the American ambassador, when they told them they're walking out of the deal and they're not buying the F-35, that if you throw stones at us of your tariff, don't expect gifts from us. And they threw him out of the office. Look at the statement, what your ambassador of Philippines in USA has made to the US. I won't use the language he said. where he said nobody else has it except the Indian Navy. Even the US doesn't have it. Now, if this is the kind of statements now start coming from your allies against the US, I'm sure the people in the US in the Congress are getting really worried, like General Shankar had mentioned. No? The NSA and the Secretary of Defense are really worried. They are absolutely quiet. They're getting worried. I'm sure they would not like that to damage the transatlantic relationship, which has lasted for decades. Yeah, how long? True. More than a century. And you're just wanting to destroy everything.
I think the point which you made about the Philippines people coming out so strongly in support of India is very important.
Huh?
Philippines is supposed to be under the protection of USA.
USA. Yes,
and lo and behold, who goes and does a joint patrol in South China Sea with 3 warships? India. And that is why, what he refused to say, I'll say. The Philippines minister has said it's only India which has the balls to do what it did.
Yeah. No, he said the US doesn't have the balls. US doesn't have
it. This is the words he's used, sir. I'm not using. He said so. Yes. And let me tell you, let me tell you, it is not Philippines or USA accepting this. It is the Chinese who accepted this.
Yes.
What have the Chinese done? And the bloody jokers, Chinese, they went and crashed their own PLA vessel against their own Coast Guard and sunk it.
I saw that video. It's so hilarious.
That happened while the Philippines may say that they were overseeing what logistics was given. Actually, that ship was actually trailing our exercise which we were doing with the Philippine ships. In that area. The Americans have never dared to do any exercise with the Philippines in that area. That is why he said so.
Akash Krishan Tadani, this is for you, General Shankar. Donald Trump is linking up with Pakistan. It would not be long before he links up with China through Pakistan all over again. Smacks of history repeated and business as usual with China. Your views?
This is one option. You see, there is also a reality that Donald Trump has lost interest in the Asia Pacific region. Okay. His interest is now in the Middle East because drill baby drill है oil है उसका दिमाग उतना ही है उसका vision उतना ही है. He's Eurocentric because ultimately German descent and his wife is from East Europe and all that.
Slovenia.
His focus is Russia, Ukraine, this belt only. So he's now dealing. That's what I said. The Kissinger link is reappearing through Pakistan. So don't be surprised if he's trying to hold China through Pakistan. This is one thing, and it's worrisome for us. This is worrisome for us for many reasons. But we can discuss this another day.
Thank you, Saurabh. Again, Winston Churchill famously said that Americans will always try to do the right thing once they have tried everything else. Happy Independence Day. That's a good one. Next one. So this is for you, General Rajiv. Madly, thank you so much. Did President ask for bribes like Pakistan and Namo said FO?
I think he must have asked for that Nobel Peace Prize nomination. What exactly transpired in those 35 minutes talk, I don't know. After that, he is ants in his pants.
Next one, please. General Shankar, this is for you, sir. Medal on again. Thank you so much. Sri, you are in US. We want you to spill the beans about what? About what? Medal on what is the beans that you want me to spill? I've spilled all the beans. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Look at who is funding the Russian war. All data, complete data. There's no fig leaf for anybody to hide. Watch that thing at 6 a.m. So I'll speak through that one. Thank you. Next one. Dr. MPC, this is for General Shankar, this is for you. Sir Trump, I think it's for General Rajiv, sorry. Sir, Trump doesn't care what we provide. This is his personal vengeance. He will target H1B, pharma, IT exports, and finally our forex reserves. Your thoughts, sir?
He can't target forex reserves. H1B, he'll be at a loss. They don't have skilled workers. US is woefully short of skilled workers. So basically what he is changing what has been accepted by the people, the bureaucrats there is not to make it a lottery.
Yeah.
They must be making some sort of a merit list to get it. Today, it's like a lottery. You put it in the computer somewhere and it generates name, you get your name. So, not to make it at a lottery. Pharma, I've already told you it is his loss. the IT companies will leave him. They can't lose. Bulk of the money comes, almost about 30 or 40% of the income generated by them comes from India, cannot be replaced. It cannot be replaced, and India can replace it. Because those 2 days, the Rediff was giving all the services to Nayara, what Microsoft was giving at half the rates. So if the IT companies think that they can't be replaced, they can think again. Exports, like I told you, Pa, what is the quantity? If you look at my total exports is 2% of my GDP. And what is actually targeted by tariff at the moment is 1% of my GDP. You want me to have ants in pants for 1% of my GDP? That's laughable. Forex reserves, I have a different take. If everybody starts going the UPI way, and the what the Bank of International Settlement of
Settlements.
Switzerland had given to BRICS, and which is the BRICS Pay, which is digital in your own
Embridge.
currency. You get Embridge is what they gave, and BRICS have called it as BRICS Pay, which is essentially the Embridge which they made. When I'm doing everything digitally, do I need Forex? Think about that.
True,
Forex is,
true.
you want paper currency. If I've gone digital, all payment is online, digital. I don't even need any backup for any currency. My currency, your currency rates, I sell it. I am debited in my currency. You are credited in your currency. What is the need for Forex? That means if then in your current account, you need that much of money available to be able to buy things. That's all that you need. Then do you need Forex? Then that would be maintained by your central bank. That is the Reserve Bank. They will maintain that amount with them and not give it out. Then what happens to the Forex? And then what happens to the dollar? Have you thought about that? Mr. Trump.
Next one,
think.
please. Sir, this is for you, General Shankar. Kalyan wants to know, in case of new sanctions against Russia, there will be a huge power crisis in Europe. With our cheaper power, we can build AI factory of the world by building AI-driven data centers here.
We'll see when it comes out. I mean, these are all futures. This is future and options type of trading and thinking.
Correct. Next one, please. Satyam wants to know, so this is for you, General Rajiv Narayanan. Can you please share your view on Operation 37 launched by Donald Trump to remove RPM?
Yeah, these are all perceptions which people play. Narratives are run, and then you start talking that this is what is happening. By likh ke diya hai Operation 37. Somebody gave us the name as Operation 37. Somebody starts a narrative that this is what is happening. Somebody says the deep state wants him to be overthrown. These are narratives which are being roaming around. They are narratives from the other side also to put pressure that if you don't follow me, then I will make sure you do that. Don't get carried away by narratives.
Next question. This is to you, General Ravi Shankar. Gehra Rajya ka Anmol Tattu. Thank you so much. During Sindoor, should India have insisted that the Pak military publicly ask for ending the conflict to have removed ambiguity about the outcome?
अभी जो बोलना है ना वो तो खत्म गया. रात गई बात गई. Now to go back and say what we should have said, that's all history. At that point of time, we took a stand and we did what we had to do. By and large, it is okay. And, we now know that the entire story is being twisted for other reasons. So let's stick to what we have done. And what we should have faith in what we have done and stand by what we have done. Okay, can you make the ideal decision in life? You can never make the ideal decision in life. And is there an ideal decision? That's also utopia. Okay, so leave it at that. I don't think this is something which we should keep digging. You can't keep digging. You have to look ahead.
General Rajiv, this is for you, sir. Venjay wants to know, hello, sir. What if US pressures EU, Middle East, etc. to put tariffs on India like Scott Bessent suggests? Is that a possible scenario?
Zero. One word, zero. Why will EU put? They tried sanctions. What has happened to Nayara oil? Somebody said, oh, SBI has stopped transaction. SBI doesn't need to do transactions. Now RBI has said all Vostro accounts are available and Vostro accounts are linked with UPI. Now from that Vostro account directly, whatever transaction is rupee, ruble and whatever is to be transaction has to be done will be done. No bank comes into play. See how you work your digital to your profit. And why should EU come in? EU can't do it. EU doesn't have the power to do it. Individual countries have to do it. Even if EU has gone and Ursula von der Leyen came under pressure and signed the agreement, that agreement is dead. It will never come see the light of the day because the 27 countries have to agree to it. Nobody is agreeing to it. They're already kicking Ursula around that what have you done? Why will the Middle East do anything? Remember, Saudi Arabia has not re-signed the petrodollar agreement. The petrodollar agreement was
The
signed
renewal.
in 1975. Renewal. They have not renewed it. It was signed for 50 years in 1975. Due for renewal. They have not signed it. They're dealing with us they're dealing with China in yuan. Remember that.
Sir, digital renminbi, sir.
Yeah, renminbi is just a name. Yuan is the one which is monetized. So Middle East, why will they put any tariff? What can Trump do to it? The moment they put it, they will flood the market with oil so that the crude price comes down and thereafter the shale oil is no longer viable, economically viable.
True, true.
Nothing will happen. Scott Bessent can keep shooting his mouth. Nothing will happen. It's only he'll make the situation murkier for US.
Yes, indeed. And thank you so much, Shyam Sundar, for your super sticker. That brings us to a close of today's program. What a session it was. Thank you both, General Rajiv Narayanan, General Ravi Shankar. And this came to you live from Gunnershot and P Gurus. I'm not sure we made it on the Claus channel.
Yeah, it's there.
But
It's on the Claus channel also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. So we will see you again, all three good generals, next Thursday, same time. Namaskar.
Namaskar.